Okay then. Let's see everything. Everything is fine. Huh. Just look at that. So today I'll do something quite different from everything I've done so far. I'll be drawing this character. I'll be preparing it for animation. The program that I use. The program that I use for this is Moho. Moho is a bit like Adobe Illustrator, except it makes things move. And there is now Adobe Animate, right? It's the old Flash. I never used that one, unfortunately. Um, so I couldn't even feel it when it died. Let me see something is okay. So I use this program instead of Moho, the old Flash. I tried to use it a few times, but I think it was not for me. So I made a few characters um, over the years in this program. To be fair, I've been using Moho for a long time, but only very recently I really got serious with it. And I've been trying to figure out ways to make animation more efficient in it. And I'm working in a few projects. And for those, I prepared some really nice models actually. And I also lost a few models. One that I was preparing for another project is phase one. And this is what I put inside the model. There is a lot going on, as you can see. Where's my music? Jesus, that's loud. Okay, hopefully the music is not too loud. I can't hear it, so. Anyway, this model, it has basically everything I needed except for this nose. It's not that good. And there are some things I'm still not sure if I want to do it on separated shapes or not. If I want to make the eyes separated or not. I will try, and maybe if at some point I need to make things different, I will, but for now I have this way of working, so oh wait, I need to change my Twitch title. It's very animation in Moho. Animation. Anime. Alright, so back to it. This character I prepared long ago. You can see the ears are hidden here, and the face. Everything from the number of dots that I use to the shadows, everything is made in order to allow me to later make some adjustments. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. In theory, that's the thing with animation. Sometimes you start with a model that's capable of doing this and that, and then when you start using it, you need to do a lot more. So let's start with the draw tool. Right here, you press A and bam, it's there. Just A. Then I normally just put some dots here and here and try to make the points the same on each side. There are some areas of the head that I really want to have dots, like for example this is for the eyebrow, and I want these to be able to make curves later. Maybe I don't even need this one here, although it would be useful for the ear. Okay, I'll leave it there. Normally I try to put not too many dots, only as many as I have to. And the thing is, this model has to be able to turn on the side, so it's useful to have a few extra dots sometimes, but not too many. If you have too many dots, it gets a bit complicated to work later. So here, here, and here, I'm going to add those, as you can see on the model that I made before. These will allow me to make the shadow. Later, if I have the character turn to this side or that side, I can just select here and have it on the same color as the background, and bam, there is shadow only on one side. So that's why I have shadow on both sides, so I can just choose, you know. And if I need more or less shadow, I can just move it here. Anyway, need an extra dot here. And I think this is okay. Did I really just... Oh no, interesting. Very interesting. I used the end of the... I'm basically copying from my past self, because I've done that one last year, and even then it was already some kind of test, and based on things that I had learned. I spent 1.5 years at home, and during that time I was just learning animation, and I ended up I learned a lot. So no, I can't do that. So I had a lot more ideas before. Right now I kind of forgot. Haven't worked in this kind of stuff in 6 months. It's not like I had been drawing it in this style for that long before, so forgetting is part of the expected outcome of it, I guess. So I want to do this and this and this. Minimum for the eye, I want that. I don't know, however, if I will add more or not. We'll see. I think I want this like this. So what if I want to close the eye, for example? What do I do? I can just, but that looks awful. Maybe I do need one here and one here. No, that doesn't look that bad. I'll try to keep it this simple. What did I do for my guy here? Yeah, I think I added too many actually, but I did add the thing that I was thinking of. You know what? Maybe I will add one. But then again, I barely started and I already can't decide what I want to do for these. I want to add something for the eyelids, and I think I want to do it like this, and like this, and this. Right, so I can have this like here, and I want to have two more like so. They will be curves. I can make them bigger or smaller, and I can have them up or down depending on the situation. And here's the thing. For this guy, I did this. It's an entire eye with a hole in the middle. This thing actually has a color. It may not look like it, but it does. See? There is a color, and there is a hole in the color. So if I want to if I want to move the eye, to close the eye, for example, I can just move this here and do the same for the different parts of the eye, like so. Right? It looks good, I guess. The thing is, this wasn't supposed to be like so. Anyway, this same thing, squish, bam. So yeah. However, there is another character that I made, or that I was making. Let's see if I saved her. I got a very bad habit of not saving my work because, you know, I thought it auto-saves. So if it auto-saves, I don't have to save it. And I ended up losing a lot because of that. On this character, I did something different though. I put the eye in two parts. Two parts because I have no idea why I did that. Maybe it's because I hadn't figured out yet how to make that whole thing. When I was drawing, I don't know. But as you can see, the eye is in two parts. Why did I do it like this and the other one I did differently? At the same time, I have this. Oh, Jesus. This little guy, which I actually animated. His lips very cute. His eye also has a hole as far as I can remember. Yes, it's a hole. I have this area here. It's just an entire shape with a hole in the middle. And it hides the eye that is behind it. The eye shape is actually just behind it. So, and this is very important as well because this makes the hole. It's the kind of thing that you usually will not learn how to do in tutorials. The question is, why did I make this one like this and this one like this? That's quite a conundrum. The mouth, if I'm not mistaken, I had a lot of trouble as well deciding if I would make just one shape or two, like I did with that eye. Charmander was a lot more difficult, the mouth. The head is actually one, the mouth is another, a bit like Homer Simpson. Animated characters are usually like that, so I think I'll leave this as it is now for the moment, and later, with use, I'm going to find out if it was a good idea or not to leave it like that. No, I don't want autofill nor auto stroke. Not doing those right now. Just want to put the shapes here. All right. Normally I prefer to just have the shape in place. And wherever, when it comes the time to draw, I get to it. For the nose, I want a full shape for the nose. Yeah. I think I don't think I should. Depends on how many shadows, because she can turn to the left or the right, so normally I have to worry about that kind of stuff. However, if she turns, I can just turn the nose, right? Just select these and choose like this path, because It's not like I'm going to use the model in one situation, like in one entire movie or something. I'm going to use the character in a very limited way. It will be scene by scene by scene. Each scene you have something happening. So I want this, I want this. I can hide things that I don't need. The thing is, those can cast shadow, so I'm going to close them here. I can just adjust the curve as needed. In order to make sharp corners like these, you hold Alt and you pull the corners. For the rest of the eye, I will, of course, copy and rotate, but in fact I should finish the eye, huh? I need this and this. And there are some shadows. Did I use them separated? Yes, I did use them separated. I don't know why, but I put them separated. Whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up changing a lot later. Now I want a shape for shadow. This shape will be quite useful in the future. So I want to have it not that simple. It will have 4 corners, so I can make it bigger or smaller depending on what I need. This shape here, it will be only a line like so. Maybe I should even... Actually, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't make it smaller on the corners, but I really want to. So yeah, tries to have, what was it, Shift W? Yes, I did. Period. Yeah, I'm only doing this one to show how it works. This one, press U, create a shape. I don't want stroke on it because it's only going to be shadow. Whenever I am making something that will have shadow, I put it on this color and then I put it under the line. It's exactly how I did all of those. Later, positioning the shapes is quite complicated. Oh no, auto weld. Don't want to now. Alright, this is why I have to divide the work. Nose shadow. Do I want nose shadow? I mean, I do, I really do. But how am I going to do this nose? Because see the nose, it will be like so. It will be like this, but with H I will hide those, and the nose will actually be these. See? This line, this line, this line. thinner. Okay. This is the nose. The nose doesn't have a shadow on top of it. However, it will cast a shadow. And when it does, it will hide these shapes. Unless if I have another shape for the nose, but then that goes against my principle of having not too many shapes, but I don't think it's something I can avoid. Let's do the eye. The eye, I want this, this. One in the middle, one in the corners. Yeah. Auto weld to close it. It's all closed. The important thing that this shape is making is to hide the eye when it moves. Because when the eye moves, it will be hidden behind this. If it was here, it would not be hidden because it passes the line. And this is something that took me a long time to learn, but in fact, yes, you select this, then you select that one, then you press U, and then you create the shape. It's beautiful. Then with the H, I come and I hide those lines. Very nice. And I don't know if I want to close here. Like I did on the drawing, I leave it a bit open, huh? I think I don't. So I'll just make this thin, like so. This one I'll make thick. This one a bit thick. And this will be thin. Yeah, something like that. If I don't like the result, I will change it later. Here, same thing. The good thing, the great thing that usually people don't teach you about Moho is that you can use the same shape to make a lot of forms. Like the same lines, you can make them in a lot of forms. And this is something you see later when I start adding the shadows, but it's quite crazy. You generate. So here I put this one will be thick, this one will be thin. In fact, let's have it in a different color, just to differentiate. W, Shift W, Shift W, Shift it's W, right? In English. Usually it's not the correct shortcut. I just added it for the width because I was getting confused with other shortcuts. I don't even remember what right now, but I know I was. Come on. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I should treat it like this or if I should do it more like my boy Eater here. What did I do for facial? This was terrible. This was not a good idea. This might be the best. I'll leave it as it is for now. Maybe I'll separate it later. Hands. Hands are such a complicated thing because there are so many fingers. Before I had one part for each finger, it was crazy. Absolutely insane. Now I make the finger whole. And this is what I mean to say that you can make different shapes for the same lines. These are all connected together. Before I used to make different layers just for the shadows, but the problem with animation in Moho is if you have it like so in here and then you create a key and then you make this move like so, it moves, right? Yeah, that's great, that's animation. The thing is, all the other ones, they don't move, so the more layers you have, the worse it is. So I always try to keep a very tiny amount, very tiny number of layers, so no shadows in dedicated layers. Moho is very good at making shadows by hiding things. You can use shapes as masks and have just shadows behind it. Another character that I lost when I was doing this, it had some stuff hidden because it was necessary, but for this one, normally I try to keep the shadow in the same object as the arm, for example. The shape has a shadow, the shadow is part of the object, because if it needs to move, it moves. And if it needs to be on the other side, I can just invert the colors. That's simple. Or I can just invert the object. I can just take these and turn it around, because each of those is used for only one scene, so you can just change for the next scene, it's no problem. You can see this in practice a lot in here, because each of those had to be hidden, so everything is part of a single shape, and they have like individual shapes for every shape. It's a lot of shapes. So if you have individual shapes for each shape, I don't know if that's clear, but this thing was not supposed to come. You see, I have different objects, different shapes, all in the same object, all in the same group of lines. This is one group of lines. If I move one, it moves the rest. It's terrible. But for the purpose of making things simple, it's a lot better. I think this kind of thing is only clear if you have already worked with Moho. But anyway, back to the drawing. Here on my drawing, I can just select the dots. Not you. Control C, Control V, invert them, and then I can just put them in place. Alright. Q, Q, and U. I don't know if this is a good idea with the entire shape like this. I probably should have a bigger one and have the smaller one separated like this one. I'll probably get through that at some point. At some point it will be so clear that this is the best choice that I will just do it. So this goes here. Just trying to keep everything in order. Doesn't have to be perfect yet. At some point it will have to be. I still haven't decided what to do with the nose, huh? I will add a shape for the shadow and one for the nose. Alright. Okay. I will not use these lines, they will be just lines. Yeah, so I have these like so, and then I have one shape for the shadow. I don't need to be very complex with the shadow. I'm not going to make a very complex shadow anyway. It's just for when I do something like so. It will be behind the shape of the nose. This one is a shadow in itself, so this one I can hide or show as much as I want since it's behind the nose here. So the mouth. This is a complicated. I don't think I have decided what exactly I want to use for the mouth shape. I think this makes sense, and I'll even use this one to make the lip, since I'm not going to be passing anything under it. It's not like the teeth will just come out in here, and if it does, it means I'm doing something very wrong. So teeth on top. Teeth on the bottom. Then there is the tongue. And can I use this for the shape of the mouth? Can I? Does it? Or did I add something with the color? Because you see, he opens his mouth. The words won't come out. There is a color here. I did manage to do that, huh? Very interesting. Sometimes I'm surprised at my past self. I can't forgive myself for not thinking of the nose. Like, if he's looking at the side, what of his nose? Will it just be like this? Hollow? Makes no sense. You idiot. I didn't think of the nose very well. Maybe I was thinking of using the corner of the face if I was even more idiot, because it's so unnecessary. Anyway, so this can be the shape of the mouth. Let's make those teeth a bit more a bit better. So I should have named this video how to make an anime waifu. This for the tongue. I learned recently of a website that has Moho add-ons. I really wanted to try some. If they had something that allows me to just color those dots, that would be brilliant. Just the dots, because the layer is invisible. I turn on and off the layer a lot when I'm drawing because I want to see the drawing, and I'm pretty sure that's not the right way to do it, because this was supposed to be something visible no matter what, but I want to see the shape of the thing I'm drawing as well, so I don't know if there is a solution for that. But if those dots could be on different colors, which I know they can in other circumstances that I don't want to use because it's not what I'm doing, if I could just color them, that would be great. That would be excellent. That would be perfect. Let's make some eyebrow. Brow. All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, so far, so good. As for the hair, though, that would be something. This is the kind of thing that I would definitely have to change later, because the problems with the hair will really only show up with use. Conceptually, I'm not quite there yet. Can't even think of what the problems will be because I haven't really used hair that much. I've been avoiding hair. Now, where would be the shadows in here? Do I even make any shadow for the hair? I don't know. I'll leave it as it is for now. Try to do it like this, like so. These, like these, and like this. A bit like a square. I didn't close it. There we go. Did the music stop? Come on, YouTube, I'm still watching. In fact, is this even a list? Alright. This here, like so. The square part of it will be here. This area will be forever even, so I'm going to worry about it that much. Maybe now you're starting to see how these models can get to this point. Look at that hair. Look at that face, that glorious face. Is there a way to revert this thing? Or do I have to? Yes, there is. Revert. Anyway. Here, here. Oh, come on. I keep forgetting this thing. Alright, just draw. Adjust later. Okay. Oh, that's the head. Okay, I thought it was the hair. Got me confused for a bit. No, I don't need you. Can get so confusing. This is the kind of thing that if you're not doing regularly, you really lose the hang of it. You lose the hang of it in many ways. So keep going with square shapes for the bottom, for the edges. Like so, and it forms like a square, but this square is bent. Moho seems hard. Oh, Moho is confusing. It's not hard, but it's confusing. That's for sure. Hello there, rocking science. Corner of the square and it closes here, like so. I hate when it does this. Maybe I should add one of those things that show what button I'm pressing, because I press buttons all the time to change the tunes. If you could see what button I'm pressing every time, that would simplify things maybe. For this strand, do I want just one line? What, can I even make it one line? I think I can. Oh, it's okay. What I did yesterday is the same thing that I'll probably do this Friday. So you get the chance to see something similar. And this Tuesday, I'm going to stream a lot more because it's holiday here. So I'll be making some 3D stuff. Yeah. I think I will finally be able to get some kind of schedule right now. Work is getting a little less crazy. The problem is I work in a black company, so I don't always know when I'm going to be home and how my mood will be, because sometimes work will be rough and sometimes I'm just too tired, and sometimes I don't arrive home until very late, so I don't know when I can stream, so but it's fine. Alright, so I'll probably not make any shadow for the hair, at least for the moment. Yeah, work is almost always tough, especially when you work for a black company. But my choices, right? Choices. Can't complain about the choices we make. Yeah, the shadow I make is in along with the object shape. Like here, look at it. It has a lot of shadows, and the shadows, they are part of the same object. because it makes things easier. The good thing about Moho, what the fuck? The great thing about Moho is that you just put the lines and you can make as many shapes as you want with those lines, you know? So, for example, here, those lines, they form just a single object technically, but inside this object there are three shapes, this, and this. So let me color the face so you can see the difference. See, this one is one object, those two are different objects. So if I want shadow only on this side, I can just make this shadow the same color as the face, and bam, the shadow disappeared. It's still there, the lines are there, but the shadow is not visible. You see? So that's why I add them on both sides. I can just make whichever side I need. I can just change them according to my needs. I do this with everything on the arms. Yes, the object base color here, bam, and then the shadow here, and they are technically part of the same thing, just one thing, different colors inside it. I can make them as big or as small as I want, according to the scene. I think maybe you can see it better on this. On this thing here. This bowl of ramen. Here is the base, here are the colors. Yes, it's a lot easier because Moho technically has a way to create the shadows and hide them. On a separate layer you create the shadow and you use the base layer as a mask. So anything, if you have like a circle and you have another circle and this is the shadow, anything that is, whenever the shadow is passing in front of the object, it's visible, and if it's not, it's invisible, right? That's how it's usually made. But the thing is, the more layers you have here, the worse it is to animate, you see, because later, if you want to move this thing here, for example, you just move it, you have it here and then you move it somewhere else, like here, for example. I had another shadow here. You move it here, let's say. When you animate it, it will move, right? Nice. The thing is, the rest doesn't move. So the more layers you have, the worse it is, because you have to come back and pause them all. Because if you want this one to move like so and so, while this one is moving, one big movement, if you don't pause this one, it's going to move as well, or it's not going to move, it's a mess. So I prefer to make as few layers as I can. I don't make a new layer unless I feel like it's very necessary, or if it's going to be too confusing to leave it all in one. To be fair, I kind of wanted to make everything in a single layer. The problem is, it gets wild after a while, you see? Then you keep adding things on top of things on top of other things. It gets crazy. But to be fair, perhaps I should try to make it on one layer. Oh, and there is another problem as well. out of those, you put them in order using the keyboard. For example, there is the blue layer and there is the white layer, right? The blue layer is on top of the white one. If I want to have it under, I just have to move it all the way down, and it's annoying. For the fingers, it's a lot easier to see. You have to move them one by one, and there is no way to see which one is on top. There is no... Oh, no. The Genshin animation was a project I had before, but I don't have the time for it anymore, so I don't know when it's coming out. Unfortunately, I had to get a job after all, so now I don't have time for that. But well, I'll get to it at some point. For now, the only thing I'll be able to do is just very short, barely any animation at all, you know, just the character moves their arm and the character moves their head a little, this kind of thing. Yeah, that's life. That's life, unfortunately. I'll get back to it at some point, but I just don't know when. So I'll add this and this. No, not make them one. Then I'll make this shape. Technically, I can name the layers. The thing is, all the objects are in the same layer and I can't organize them, you know? For example, all of these is in the same layer. All of those objects are on the layer I called face. The thing is, if, for example, this circle is on the wrong place, because if I try to close the eye, you see, it should hide just like this one, but it doesn't because it's on top. So I have to select it and just press down until it disappears. There it is, disappeared. I was lucky because it was quite on the surface, but other times I may not be. You know, that's the problem of making everything in one layer, because later, if I want to put things in order or even change the orders, I have to keep pressing up and down and guessing when something is going to pass on top of something else, because there is no way to know. I can't see. There is no, if there was like an option to press a button here, boom, and then show all of the shapes I created, that would be excellent. I could just drag them around, but I can't. So if I want this hair on top of that other hair, I'll have to press. There it is. See, now it's on top, but it's guessing. And to organize all the hair, what's on top of what, it gets confusing. That's crazy. And it's even worse because, like, the hands or the limbs in general, I've been before, because things go on top of the others. I was making different, how would I say, shape, a separate shape for the lines, just so the lines could stay on top of things, you know, because you can do that. You can make the lines be on top of things, so to avoid this kind of stuff. You see, look at this. If I just want the lines to be on top of the other lines, I can, but that's a different shape that I have to put in position. Oh yes, yes, it's still a lot better than traditional animation, because once it's done, working with it is still a little complicated sometimes, depending on the scene. If you make the hands move, for example, it can get a little crazy, but it's a lot better than having to draw it all one by one, you know, so not complaining. Not complaining at all. Let's see if I can copy and paste this one. No, I can't. I have a hand on another version of Moho. Let's see, OBS. OBS is what is the other Moho? It's this one. Okay. Bam. There we go. Look. You have all the different shapes, and I didn't connect them, of course. I just saved different positions here, so I can use it later. But yeah, it's quite crazy. In fact, I used the secondary, the first frame I used to separate everything. Everything is separated because it makes things a lot less complicated. Because imagine I'm trying to animate the hand. The hand will be very complicated to animate, right? Because if I want to select the middle finger, for example, how do I do that? A bit complicated, right? If I want to select the little finger, a bit complicated. So I have this frame right here where everything is separated. So I can just select it, and once it's selected, I can go wherever I want and just position it. And then I can just position it here, and then bam, it's animated, only those. And the best thing about Moho, to be fair, is this one. You see, this thing here is the points. This one is the curves. And this one is the thickness, color, all that kind of stuff. I usually don't change in one scene. However, you see that there is similar red ones down here. These are only for the selected dots. That means I can copy one position of something and then copy just the position of a selected dot inside one object, you know? So if I have something here and it moves there, but these two dots are not supposed to move, I can just copy it from the previous frame and paste it on the next. It's very, very useful. It's, to be fair, it's probably the one thing that makes me use Moho, is this, the fact that you can select the positions of individual dots. It's very nice. This program is very useful. Once you get the hang of it, it's miraculous, I tell you. And normally it's supposed to be, this program is supposed to be used with bone animation. Its strength is in the bone animation, but I don't like it. I tried using it, but nah. For the kind of thing I want to make that is more on an anime style, doesn't work. It's only for American style cartoons, you know. It's not my thing. I think for the year 2 I'm not going to use shadows. Maybe I should just put one blob here. Or 2. I'll use those for shadows. Yes, because why not? They will have shadows if I need them. And these, yeah, I don't want those many details. One day maybe I'll be able to afford doing something more complex with shadows and all that, but for now I want to keep it not too simple, but kinda simple. Bone animation is very stiff. Yes, exactly, and that's why I don't want to do it. It's so robotic. Like, sure you can make it fluid, but I don't like it. Nothing wrong with it, it's just I have no interest in making that kind of stuff. No. No, thank you. Now, the ear, normally I would have to put the ear behind the head, which would be a nightmare to do. It is a nightmare because you saw what it takes to change the position of objects, right? However, you see her hair like this? Hanna-Barbera, the animation company that made a lot of old style cartoons, very well-known cartoons, they used to have the Hanna-Barbera neck, which is they always had something on the neck, like a bow tie or something, an object, like you see that on the Flintstones and other Hanna-Barbera cartoons. They always have something on the neck because it allowed them to separate it because of the animation, you know? Because the body was something and the head was something else. I'm going to do something similar so I don't have to hide the ear behind the head. I'll just put a strand of hair here. So the ear will be technically on top of the head and it would look awful from a side, but unless the character is totally on the side when I can just delete the ear, it will have this strand of hair covering it. It's kind of a trick taken from a very old studio and used in a modern way with a modern program. Modern problems require old solutions sometimes. what's the best way to approach this edge? Great thing about working with Moho as well is the vector tools. They are very familiar to me. I've worked with CorelDRAW for over a decade, and the tools are very similar. So it gets a lot easier for me to draw. Alright, so I'll call this head. And I'll create a new layer. And I'll call it I want to separate the legs from the torso. I guess I do. So, do I want to separate the neck from the body? And the hair. What do I do about the hair? Her hair is something I'll have to make another day because I need to make a better design for it, so that will require some research. So I'll have the neck. So the neck, it will need a shadow. It will need two shadows, one here and one Not really, I did it for either. I think if I didn't lose it. Oh, I did lose it. I did his hair. Oh, no. I have the cape. Do I have the hair? Hair back, yes, I have. Look. In fact, maybe I should use this. See, it's not that bad. Not that bad at all. And just select multiple. Move it little by little. Then select view and move it. It's not like this hair moves like wildly. It is, after all, a braid, so it's kind of heavy. It's not going to be like a snake going crazy wild. So yeah. For the neck, what did I do for the neck on this one? Oh yeah, it's hidden, so it's less of a problem. The thing is, where do I want it to? This much is easy. Do I come all the way here? No. I'll come all the way here. So the shadow can end it here if I want, and if I don't want, I can just add another shadow here on the arm. For the arms, do I want the arms problems with the torso because usually I make one layer for each arm. And sometimes I want one on the top of the other, but if I make them all in one thing, it would probably be better. I don't know. All of these is kind of theoretical, to be fair, because later with use I'm going to find the problems that right now I can't even imagine. When I start to really find the problems with these, I'll be like, huh, why didn't I think of that? Why indeed? The shadow here is do I want another? I want another, yes. The shape here, I make 1, 2, 3, 4. So these shapes, no stroke with color. This color, yes. No stroke. This color, no stroke. This color, no stroke. So these are our shadows, and I can enable and disable them by coloring or just by changing their position. If there is more, if there is less, if the position changes. And it's the same thing for the inner area of the neck. Do I want to? Yes, I want to. Thank you. I'll probably end it soon as well, and I'll have to continue another day, so good night. So I'll put this here, and yeah, make it smaller to fit the drawing, although it's not necessary. Do I want the torso to be one thing? I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Shoulder, the other way here, and here. And she turns to the side. This will be a bit complicated. different beast. I need to put a stop to this. Yes, it doesn't move too much. This has to be sharp edge. In fact, now that I think about it, the complications with animation will probably define some of the design, the character design as well. To be fair, some complications, in order to overcome them, I'll have to add or remove some details, like this thing on her cloth here. It will probably have to stay either way, because it will make things simpler, less complicated. Dot. So I need another dot to make this line. For the hand, I will of course copy a hand that already exists. It is a lot more simple. For the elbow, maybe it will be easier this way. I'll be adding shadows for all of those, so there will be some complications. This is here kind of like a sport. Do I really need it? Yeah, I kind of need it. Just for the shadows, not for what they shadows in this? Oh, I need shadows for the shoulder. That's... How often do I need shadows on the shoulders, huh? Could I neglect to redefine? Maybe I should just focus on making exchange right now and concentrate on those other issues in the future. If they come to be, I will add shadows or remove them, and if those issues don't come to be, then it's fine. Now I need to add off those lines. Alright, I'll be creating the head. First, the teeth, tongue, teeth, teeth should be on top of the tongue, not the opposite. So, you should be behind of those, and you are. Finally, this makes this, and I hide those, and they are hidden. Hide this, and this, because why not? The mouth, you always have a color. Good. So that's it. Here, have those two. This has a few. Let's color up this. Oh no, but this is not full. There we go. So you have a shape, but no stroke. Yes, feel, no stroke. You shape, line. However, no. Also, you will be on top of those. You, just a shadow, you have no stroke. Your feel is to represent the shadow. Yeah. I don't even know if I need half this nose shape here. Maybe I use it for shadow as well. Oh, speaking of which, your shadow. Don't try to hide. Alright, so you are black, so I'm black. Shape. You have no stroke. You have the black yo. You can have that. You have no stroke. You have black view. And no stroke either. Nice. Speaking of which, one. Come on. One. You. And you. Unselecting this side, I can create the shadows on one side. Yes. No stroke on you. You same thing. Unselecting off this side. Creating your face and no stroke. There we go. So I will have all these on the bottom. You on the bottom of the bottom. Very nice. You are too much. Come back here. The corner. You know what? This eye thing is not that bad. Not that good either. Not sure if I keep it. And the real reason why I keep dots in the middle of curves is to make the curves a bit more thicker in the middle. Some shadow on the eye, but it would be difficult to do here. I want to do some kind of art on the eye. Speaking of which, the eye itself needs to have a shape. Otherwise it won't be good. Let's get behind everyone. There we go. Very nice. Red eyes. try to close the eye. There we go. You know what? This thing here is not a bad eye shape at all. That's those totally separated without much of any peeking here. I don't know. Oh, stop. Come right. So good. So damn the oh. It's a bit too much, isn't it? Eyebrows get created. Ears get created. I did it in the wrong order. Hide, 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 hide. You, however, are shadow. You too are shadow. 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 Yes. Oh, not yet. Shadow, shadow. Uh-huh. Hide, hide. What's this side? Are you sure this is one? This doesn't look like a one. Because this is one. This is one. will be even behind the ear effect, so that will be interesting. There we go. Wasn't that bad. Time for the hair. From the back to the front. This one, this one. This one. And then finally this one. Same thing here. Bum, bum. Okay. Not going to argue with that. I think I created them in the wrong order, but alright. It's okay. Yeah. なんだこれ。なんだこれ。What's wrong with this one? Why isn't this hiding? Come on. So persistent. There it is. And they're all behind the ear. Because the ear is on top of the ear. There it is. Very nice. Let's stop with the backgrounds just yeah, she looks very scared about all of this situation, so I know it's scary. Welcome to the world. And with the face created, I think I'm done for the day. I'll continue this tomorrow. Actually, maybe I could create this strand of hair. Yeah, this strand of hair be under the other hairs. Now I have a problem. How can it be both under those and on top of those? On top of the ear and under that hair that goes in the ear. So I have to come to the corner. Right, so yeah, very fine. It looks like it's coming from under, but it's not. Yeah, this is fine for today. I guess I'll have to continue another day. So this is it for now. I think I'll come back on Wednesday. Wednesday is tomorrow. Oh my god. All this time goes so fast. Oh yeah, I'll come back on Thursday when it's holiday here, and I will keep it short. Go for a lot longer on those. So until the next one.